Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day today. So in this video I wanted to talk about how you can wake up early and not feel tired. This is something that I have struggled with a lot in the past, and sometimes I still do, but I have definitely improved, and in this video I wanted to share some tips on how I actually improved that and how you can also work on that and actually wake up feeling productive. So I have prepared my whole list here of some points that I want to talk about. Otherwise, I will just keep rambling on. So let's get started. I have divided this video into two phases, the before phase and the after phase. So in the before phase, I basically want to talk about all those things that you should be doing before you go to bed, and in the after phase I will be talking about things that you should or should not be doing after you wake up. So let's start with the before part. So for my very first step, I have no phone for at least 30 minutes before bed. I know it sounds impossible, but trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. So firstly, why you don't have to use your phone for 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes before your bed? So the thing is that our sleep is regulated by a hormone which is called melatonin. So what happens is that this white light that you see, not only just your laptops or your phones, but the tube lights that you have at your house and each and every gadget that you use, all of those gadgets have white light, and this white light disrupts your melatonin hormone in your body and thus makes it harder for you to fall asleep at night. But if you still have to use your phone under any circumstances, it is very crucial. And by the way, this crucial part does not include using your social media, scrolling on Instagram or just watching YouTube videos or scrolling through TikTok. What I mean by that is something which is very important. It has to be done. I would suggest you to turn on eye comfort in your phone. Almost all the phones nowadays have eye comfort feature. I'm not sure about iPhone, but I think they have it too. I will confirm that and let you guys know. And not only can you control the level of warmth, basically the level of yellow light that you want in your phone, but you can also schedule the duration of this. Basically, when you want the eye comfort to turn on in your phone, you can schedule it. So I always turn on this eye comfort at least 1 hour before sleeping. And of course, you have to turn it on when you're using your phone at least 30 minutes before sleeping. My second tip is to read before bed. Now, if you are a reader like me, if you like to read, so sometimes it becomes very hard for us to take out time for reading. So this is the best time that you can actually read. You can at least take out 15 to 20 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes before you go to sleep to read any book that you want. Reading is so much less stimulating as compared to being on your phone, and it will help you fall asleep comparatively faster. And not comparatively faster, it will help fall asleep much faster. And one more tip in this is to not read any thriller books before going to bed, because trust me, I have been there, done that. I started this thriller that I was reading. It was called Good Girl Bad Blood, basically a good girl's guide to murder, the novel series. I was reading that, and I decided to read it for like only 15-20 minutes before going to bed. But what happened was I ended up reading it for 2 hours. So do not read any thriller books or things that basically stimulate and just makes you awake in an instant. So I always read self-help books before going to bed, because it is one of my goals this year, firstly, to read more self-help books as well. I read a lot of fiction, but I want to shift to non-fiction as well. So you can start reading self-help books before bed, because they are not that interesting. I don't know if I should be saying this, but of course they're less exciting as compared to thriller. So you will fall asleep. Try that. My third tip is to watch what you eat. I would not recommend you to eat heavy food before going to bed, because it will lead to a lot of discomfort and thus make it harder for you to fall asleep. And also avoid a lot of junk food or highly processed food or sugary foods, because it will affect your blood sugar level and thus make it harder to fall asleep. So always have a light dinner. My tip number 4 is to clean your desk at night. So if you are a student who has to use their desk in the morning, the very next day, or if you are someone who works from home like I do, basically your desk is your whole world. Your desk is the most important part of your room, so because that is a place where you go and you study, right? So make sure that you clean the desk at night. Just give it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You don't have to deep clean it or dust it properly. It's just that there should not be any clutter on your desk, because it helps a lot to reduce that initial friction that you feel in the morning, because studying itself is not hard, but getting yourself to get in that study zone and get yourself actually motivated to study is very hard. So this will help reduce in that initial friction. It will motivate you that my desk is clean, I just have to go and sit on it and just start studying. Otherwise, if you will see that there's a whole huge mountain of clutter on your desk, it will be like, I have to clean my desk first and then I will study. So it will just you'll just end up procrastinating, and then the most crucial part of your morning, the part of the day in which you are the most productive, will be gone. Sorry, I had to check that my phone was still recording, because it has happened a lot of times that sometimes my phone just stops recording if I get a notification or something, but I did put my phone on airplane mode this time. Anyway, my tip number 5 is to turn off your notifications before you go to bed. Very, very obvious. I don't think I have to talk a lot about this, but of course, if you will keep your internet on, your net on, and you will just end up receiving a lot of notifications or calls, and then you'll get one message. That notification might end up being of some shopping app that you're not interested in at that moment, but you will close that, and then you'll end up going to Instagram and just scrolling for hours, which is something that you don't want. So I would recommend you to turn off your internet. But if you are someone who doesn't really give a shit about who is calling them or who needs them or whatever, just put it on airplane mode. That is the best thing, because then you will not receive the spam calls as well. So it is completely up to you. Turn off your net at any cost, but if you know that you're not going to receive any important calls or there's no one that really needs you, then you can go and turn on your airplane mode as well. My tip number 6 is to put your phone away from bed before you go to sleep. So what will happen is, because of this, is that when you will wake up in the morning, when your alarm will start ringing. I'm really sorry, there are a lot of dogs outside barking for no damn reason. Please ignore that. Really sorry for that. Really sorry about that. Okay, so I was saying that so if you will put your phone away from your bed before going to sleep, what will happen is that it will motivate you to actually get off your ass and go and turn off your phone. And once you are out of your bed, you won't really feel like you should go back into it, because now you are literally like standing and all ready out of your bed, got out of the bed, which is literally the hardest thing when you wake up. Is the hardest thing that you have to do when you wake up, is to get out of your bed, to get out of that comfort of your bed and your sheets and your pillow, and just, I'm sorry, it's like 12 a.m. at night. I really want to go to sleep. But yeah, you will get up and you will have to turn off the alarm. So it will make it easier for you to again reduce that initial friction, but not for studying, for waking up. So the before part of this video is over, and we will be switching to the after part. Basically, what are the things that you should and should not be doing after you wake up in the morning. So the first tip is very much related to the one that we discussed for before going to bed, and that is no phone for 30 minutes after waking up. At least 30 minutes. There are so many reasons for that. I don't know any scientific reasons for that. I'm not a bio person. I'm an engineer, so I'm not gonna go into that because I don't know. But I will talk from experience why using phone in the morning has been a huge problem for me, and how my life has literally changed after I have stopped picking up my phone in the morning. Okay, so the very first thing is that your eyes are still adjusting to waking up, because your eyes have been shut the whole night, and when you wake up, your pupils are adjusting basically. right? So your eyes are still adjusting, and when you put on like white light or any artificial light in your face, it can lead to a lot of discomfort in your eyes. My eyes immediately start aching, by the way. I don't know if it is with me or if it is with a lot of people, but my eyes start paining a lot, and secondly my head starts hurting as well. So avoid that. And again, if you still have to use your phone, maybe you got a very important text, make sure that your eye comfort, you did switch on your eye comfort before going to bed. Otherwise you will be hit by a lot of white light, which is not good for you. Second thing is that when I open my phone, I don't really have a lot of messages from people when I wake up, which is unfortunate, but I do have my Instagram there, right? So what I will do is I will end up scrolling on Instagram for a lot of time, for like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and I will just go through the reels and see whoever liked my Instagram, what if I got any comments, if my followers have increased and all that, which is a huge black hole. So please don't do that, especially social media. It's not a good place to start your day, with knowing about other people's lives. Not worth it. So give those 30 minutes that you have give those 30 minutes that you have only to yourself, and not to social media, not to any other app, not to your phone, just yourself, nature and your thoughts. My tip number 2 is to go and get some natural light. So what happens is, in this book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, he talks about that there's a chemical in your body. He talks about that there's a chemical in your body which is called cortisol. So what happens is that when you wake up in the morning, there is a spike in that level, in the cortisol level, and during the night it decreases, right? But you can, this affect this cortisol, but you can affect the level of cortisol in your body by light. Basically, it has to be high during the day and low during the night, because if you wake up pretty late, what happens is that this cortisol will shift, and thus it will lead to you being still awake at night. I can't form sentences. It will lead to you being awake much later at night, which is something that you don't want, of course, if you want to sleep early. So I would recommend you to get some natural light. Now, you do not have to if you can, very good. I used to step out of my house and go for like a 20-minute walk in the morning, because it just makes you feel so positive and motivated, productive and fresh when you go out and get some morning walk. But now there's like so much, it gets so sunny at like 7 a.m. and I don't wake up at 7 a.m. I cannot wake up at 7 a.m. I don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. I wake up at 8 a.m. every day, not much of a difference. But yeah, I hope you get what I'm talking about. I do not want to go and take a walk when it's that sunny outside and basically very hot outside. I live in Delhi, so I cannot do that. So what I do is I just step into my balcony for like 10 minutes. That's all I do, because of course natural light is so much better as compared to your white lights, your tube lights and all that. So always get some natural light. I hope you have a balcony. If you don't have a balcony in your house, then just go by, sit through a window, or just step out of your house for like 5 minutes, get some light in your eyes. It will really wake you up. And one more thing is that getting the natural light will actually prevent additional production of melatonin in your body, and thus you will not feel so sleepy. My tip number 3 is to splash your face with cold water. I was about to say to take a cold shower, but it is not possible for everyone. Of course, not everyone likes to just wake up and take a shower first thing in the morning. If you are staying at home, if you have to step out, then please do take a shower before stepping out, otherwise it's gross. Or it's not if you are taking a shower at night, whatever. So what I was trying to say is that when you wake up, just splash some cold water onto your face. It will really, really wake you up. My tip number 4, is it tip number 3 or tip number 4? I don't know. My next tip is that you should drink lots of water. So what happens is that, see, when you're sleeping, obviously you don't consume a lot of water. If you are a sound sleeper like me, I don't wake up no matter what happens. I just keep sleeping. So I just don't wake up at all, so I don't have any water when I'm sleeping. So naturally your body is dehydrated when you're sleeping. I mean, it is dehydrated when you get up in the morning because you didn't have any water at night. So the first thing, get up, first don't use the phone, get out and get some natural light, and wash your face with some cold water, splash some cold water on your face. And the fourth thing is to, I completely forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, and the fourth thing is to have lots of water. Drink at least 2 to 3 glasses of water. My tip number 5, or my next tip, is related to your bed. So there are 2 subsections in this category. So the first thing is to make your bed when you get up in the morning. I don't think I really have to talk about the benefits that making your bed have, but if you still want to know, the first thing is that it makes you feel productive, because it is the very first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning. You're cleaning something basically. So if you are a clean freak, I mean, I'm not a clean freak, but if you like cleaning, or if you like your space to be nice, clean, decluttered, then yeah, you will feel good after making your bed. And the second thing is that it will avoid you getting back into the bed again to go to sleep basically, because your bed is all made up. You will feel less, you will not feel like getting into the bed. Yeah. My next tip under this bed category is to not do studying in your bed. See, what happens is that I keep saying what happens. So the thing is that when you sleep in your bed, your brain actually, I will just try to explain it. Yeah, so the thing is that when you sleep, your brain basically, or when you sleep, or when you do any activity or at any particular place regularly on a daily basis, your brain associates that place with that particular activity. That was very complicated, but in very simple terms, if you are sleeping in your bed, every single night, which I hope you do, so what happens is that your brain will associate your bed to sleeping. Or to, for example, if you watch shows in your bed, you're like comfortable, so that also associates that to your bed. So basically, if you will go to study in your bed, you will either fall asleep, or you won't feel motivated to study. You will just end up switching to YouTube and start watching some start watching your YouTube videos. Stop. So either that, or you will start watching some show if you study in your bed. So avoid studying in your bed. Study at a place that is designated, that you study mostly at, that is your desk, or couch will work, but a bed, don't ever, you will fall asleep. My next tip is to exercise. Move your body. My next tip is to exercise, that is to move your body every single day. You really need to get a workout in at least 5 to 6 times in a day. It will literally help in your sleep so much, because you will get tired. I mean, it gives you energy at that time, but during the end of the day, it improves your sleep a lot. So please get a workout in. My very next tip, which is a very obvious one, which you might be shocked why I haven't said it by now, is to not press your snooze button. Obviously, because first of all, those extra 5 or 10 minutes of sleep is not of good quality. It is not a quality sleep. There is nothing you will gain from that sleep, because during those 5-10 minutes, you will just keep thinking, if my alarm is going to ring again now, how much time do I have left? That's what happens to me. And secondly, if you keep snoozing your alarm, it will disrupt your sleep cycle. So avoid doing that. Avoid hitting the snooze button. My very last tip in the before part of this video is to have a heavy and good breakfast. It gives you a lot of energy, and make sure that you eat a nice and healthy breakfast. There's literally not much that I can say in this category because it is very obvious and I still can't talk about it. But please please have your breakfast in the morning. Do not go empty stomach, because trust me, you will end up feeling very tired and irritated and frustrated and hungry. So have a breakfast. Don't have a heavy one if you're not the kind of person who likes to eat in the morning, but have something. So we have talked about, covered all the tips in both the before and the after part of the video. And now I wanted to give one last tip, which is neither related to your before or your after, and it is called it is basically related to sleep. So the first tip in your sleep category is to get enough sleep. Please get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single day. I don't think I have to say this, but sleep is very important for your body to function. If you don't get enough sleep, first of all, you will be irritated the whole day. This happens with me a lot. If I sleep for even like 6 hours a day on a particular day, the next day I will be very irritated and frustrated, and all I want to do is just go to bed, and I have absolutely zero energy level. So please make sure that you're getting enough sleep. And the second thing is to sleep at the same time every day, unless you can, of course, like unless you're partying or whatever. But if you are on a daily basis regularly, just sleep at the same time every single day. Because see, it will be harder for you in the beginning to sleep at a particular time every single day to maintain that sleeping schedule, but with time your brain will associate that particular time with sleeping, and you will naturally start feeling sleepy after during that time. So try doing that. And one last tip is that don't make this transition from your, if you're the kind of person who wakes up at 10 or 9, do not make a plan, or don't think that you will start waking up at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. from the next day, because it is very, very impossible. It is very, very hard or impossible. So firstly is that, see, you will be able to do this maybe for a week, but after that you will get frustrated and you will give up. I have been there, done that. I know that this is what happens. So make sure that you are taking this transition slow. So I would recommend that. So earlier I used to wake up at like 10, but now I wake up at 8. So this is a small transition, I would say. I did start waking up at 9. I did that for at least a week and a half, and then I switched it to 8, and now naturally I wake up at 8 even without an alarm. But 8 really works for me. I'm not really planning to start waking up at 6:30 or 7. Early part is very relative to each and everyone. It completely depends on your routine. If your particular time suits your routine, then go for it. But yeah, waking up comparatively early does have its benefits. So that is all that I wanted to share in this video. I think I have covered a lot of tips. If I missed any important topic, I would leave some text and all that in the middle of the video. So that is all for me today. I hope you guys really liked it, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. And to never miss a notification, if you miss a notification from my channel, make sure that you press the bell icon. It's a tiny bell on the right side. I'm near the subscribe button. So yeah, I will see you next week. Bye. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Bye.